service of CNC Worldwide.
CNC podcasts are a service of CNC News, and they're brought to you by the Greece Chamber of Commerce, providing more than 800 member companies with business solutions since 1984. The city of Rochester says a grocery store is coming downtown. It's a locally owned, independent, full-service store to be called Hart's Local Grocers, and it will be at East Avenue and Winthrop Street by the Little Theater in the former Craig Autometrics garage building. The owners plan to open in May after giving the site a makeover. This will be the first downtown grocery store in years, ever since Wegmans closed its store in the former Midtown Plaza. City officials say there are about 6,000 residents of all the new downtown housing being built that need a grocery store. Rochester Mayor Lovely Warren says there's a chance of a hotel indoor water park complex being built downtown near the Strong Museum of Play. Mayor Warren issued a statement saying that a working concept is in the very early stages of discussion. She has had very preliminary talks with the developer. But the mayor says this water park could be built on the portion of the inner loop that the city wants to fill in and redevelop adjacent to the Strong Museum. It would be built in Rochester because it would be a family-friendly tourist destination within short travel time from places like Niagara Falls and the Finger Lakes. 2 West Side suburban ambulance services are asking state approval for a merger. Spencerport Volunteer Ambulance and Gates Volunteer Ambulance Service plan to merge their operations sometime the first half of this year. Officials of both services say consolidating will keep them financially stable, improve service, and cut response times. Spencerport Ambulance President Bruce Jones says it's harder to find volunteers these days.
With the changes in health care and the changes in what the insurance companies are willing to pay for it, it barely covers our cost, and in some cases doesn't even cover our costs. Most ambulance agencies today run advanced life support as we do. That requires us to carry a lot of equipment on those ambulances. It's very expensive equipment.
The merger also gives both agencies a chance to review their service areas and make sure the closest ambulance is being dispatched. The authority that runs Rochester's downtown Civic Center garage says it will run security sweeps in the garage during the day, not at night when the garage is technically closed. Advocates for the homeless say that means about 36 homeless men will be able to continue sleeping in the heated garage this winter. There had been concern the parking authority would lock the men out during the winter cold. The Buffalo Sabres announced the team has hired Tim Murray of the Ottawa Senators as the Sabres' new GM. Murray was assistant general manager for the Senators. He's got 20 years of management and scouting experience in the NHL, and he replaces Darcy Regier, who was fired back in November. State Attorney General Eric Schneiderman says Home Care of Rochester will refund more than $2.5 million to the government to resolve an investigation into false Medicaid billings. Schneiderman says HCR home health aides inflated the hours they worked, and in some cases they were uncertified, which means Medicaid, all told, was overbilled for more than 6,500 hours. The Attorney General's Medicaid Fraud Unit began its investigation after an audit of HCR records showed the company had billed the government for more than $2 million worth of services that Medicaid doesn't cover. Medicaid only pays for direct costs of patient care, but Schneiderman alleges that the company billed country club dues for its executives, advertising, and marketing costs. The owner of Bruster's Ice Cream on East Henrietta Road has been arrested and charged with failing to remit more than $56,000 in sales tax. State Tax Department officials have charged Todd Posner with criminal tax fraud, grand larceny, and offering a false instrument for filing.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
A commercial rocket blasted off from Wallops Island, Virginia, Thursday, carrying supplies to the International Space Station. Also on board is an experiment designed by students from the Rochester City School District. The Falcon X spacecraft carries an experiment designed by students from the Rochester Early College International High School. Fewer than a dozen schools won a national competition to have their projects flown in space on the ISS. The Rochester experiment involves tiny aquatic creatures called water bears and their behavior in microgravity environments. Links to these and other stories can be found on CNC web pages, podcasts, or whenever you click on one of our pages and hear one, and the updates are posted as necessary. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.